In the 85th minute on Wednesday night, it was coming home. Not as a joke. Not as a meme. For the first time in years, millions of English people were letting themselves say it with a straight face. England led Argentina 1-0 in a World Cup semi-final. The defense was holding. The clock was melting. 35 minutes had become 10. Grown adults in pubs from Newcastle to Brighton were doing the thing every England fan swears they'll never do again, believing. And then Lionel Messi, 39 years old, playing against England for the first time in his entire life, decided to introduce himself. 2 assists in 10 minutes. 2 headers. 1 in the 85th minute. 1 in stoppage time. Argentina 2, England 1. And somewhere over the Atlantic, a song that had been warming up its vocal cords for a month quietly packed its bags again. It's not coming home. It was never coming home. And the country that invented this sport has now spent 60 years watching everyone else take its trophy home instead, with one nation, above all others, taking a special kind of pleasure in doing it. This is the story of the night Argentina broke England's dream. And if you know the history between these two, and by the end of this video you'll understand why, again, is the heaviest word in that sentence. First, for everyone watching around the world who doesn't live inside English football culture, let me explain what "it's coming home" actually means, because you cannot feel the weight of Wednesday without it. England won the World Cup once, 1966, at Wembley, on home soil. They have won nothing since. Not one trophy in 60 years. In 1996, 2 comedians and a Britpop band wrote a song called 3 Lions with a chorus, "It's Coming Home," about the faint, self-mocking hope that football's birthplace might someday win again. 30 years later, that song has become the most bittersweet ritual in sport. Every tournament, England rise, the nation sings, and England find a new way to break their own hearts. Penalties in the 90s. Penalties in the 2000s. 2 European Championship finals lost in the 2020s. The song isn't really a boast. It's a prayer. And on Wednesday, the prayer got within 10 minutes of being answered. But of all the teams that could have ended it, of course it was this one. Because no fixture in international football has tormented England like Argentina. This was the 6th World Cup meeting between them, and the ledger reads like a crime series. In 1966, Argentina's captain Antonio Rattin was sent off at Wembley and refused to leave the pitch. Argentines call that match the robbery of the century, and Rattin, who died at 89 just days before the semi-final, was honored by this Argentina side wearing black armbands. In 1986, 4 years after the Falklands War soaked this rivalry in something darker than sport, Diego Maradona punched the ball into England's net with the hand of God, then scored the greatest goal ever seen, in the same afternoon. He later wrote that he preferred the handball, because it felt like stealing the wallet of the English. In 1998, a teenage David Beckham was sent off and burned in effigy back home. 60 years of enmity, stitched into one fixture. And on Wednesday night in Atlanta, with a World Cup final on the line for the first time ever between them, the fixture did what the fixture always does. Here's the cruelest part: England were good. For an hour, they were better than good. They were exactly the team I described before kickoff. Fresher legs running Argentina's exhausted backline into the Georgia ground. Waves of pace on the flanks. And in the 55th minute, the reward: Morgan Rogers curled in a pinpoint delivery and Anthony Gordon smashed it home. The English end of that stadium, thousands strong, many of whom had been in the country for weeks, erupted into the loudest rendition of 3 Lions ever sung on American soil. 60 years of hurt never stopped them dreaming. It was actually happening. And at the other end of the pitch, the greatest player of all time was having one of the quietest nights of his tournament. Starved of the ball, shadowed everywhere, 39 years old and running on fumes, Messi had drifted through the match like a rumor. There were 60-year-old English scars that had begun, foolishly, to itch a little less. What everyone forgot is the thing I said before this match: Argentina no longer play well. They just win. They'd been dragged into extra time twice, carved open by everyone, barely able to string 5 passes, and kept on winning anyway, because they possess the 2 things you cannot coach and cannot buy. A squad that conjures moments from nothing. And him. 85th minute. Messi, given a half-yard he'd been waiting 85 minutes for, bends in a delivery with his left foot that lands where only he saw space. Enzo Fernández rises. Header. 1-1. The English end goes silent with the speed of a power cut, because every England fan over the age of 10 knows exactly what that silence means. They've seen this film. They know how it ends. It ended in stoppage time. Messi again, because of course it was Messi again, producing a second assist out of absolutely nothing, and Lautaro Martínez climbing highest to bury the header that killed the dream. 2-1. Full time. Argentina players collapsing in joy, draped in the same lucky away kit they demanded for this match, the one they wore while beating England in 1986 and in 1998. They call it cábala. Superstition. They believe the football gods owe Messi one more trophy. On Wednesday night, it was very hard to argue with them. Think about what Messi did here. He had never faced England in his life. He said so himself before the match, almost wistfully, "I've never had the chance to play against England." He waited 19 years of international football for this one meeting. And in his first and only game against the country that invented football, at 39, he broke them twice in 10 minutes without scoring a goal. Maradona needed a fist and a miracle. Messi needed 2 crosses. Different methods. Same ending. Same nation crying on the flight home. Now some of you are already typing about the referee, the statistic, the challenge that maybe should have been a red card before the equalizer. I hear you. I made an entire video breaking down every decision of this match frame by frame. It's on screen and linked below, and it doesn't pull punches. But this video is about the simpler, older, crueler truth that has nothing to do with FIFA. England didn't lose to a conspiracy on Wednesday. They lost to the one team that has been breaking English hearts since before their parents were born, doing the one thing that team always does, surviving until the moment arrives, then producing it. So where does this leave England? 60 years becomes 64, minimum. Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham's 6 goals each this tournament, 2 of the best players in the world fly home, having done nearly everything right. Thomas Tuchel became only the 4th manager to take England to a World Cup semi-final, and discovered what Ramsey's successors, Robson and Southgate, all learned before him. Near is the most painful distance in football. The kids will be told, as English kids are always told, that their generation will be the one. Maybe in 2030. The song will go back in its box. It always comes back out. And Argentina? They marched to MetLife on Sunday for a final against Spain, the best team in this tournament by a distance, the side that dismantled France without breaking sweat. One more win, and Messi walks into the sunset as a back-to-back world champion, the greatest of all time beyond any remaining argument, with England's tears as the penultimate chapter. La Ultima Deli. The Last Dance has one song left. So, tell me in the comments, and England fans, I'm genuinely sorry to ask. 1. Is this the most painful England exit of your lifetime, or does something else still hold the title? And 2. On Sunday, does Messi finish the fairy tale, or does Spain slam the book shut? I'm reading every answer. Subscribe with the bell on, because the final breakdown drops within hours of the whistle at MetLife, and whichever way it goes, it will be the biggest video of this entire summer. It's not coming home. But you already knew that. Deep down you always knew. Until next time.